Namaste and welcome to this Yin Yoga and Read With Me class. My name is Jillian and I will be guiding us through this 30-minute practice of reading our own books and holding Yin Yoga poses at the same time. For this class, you'll need to have ideally 2 blocks, but if you don't have blocks, you can use a couple of pillows, you can use a couple of books, or even a bolster. I am drinking a peppermint tea and I'm reading The Restaurant of Lost Recipes. I've finished it at this point and I absolutely loved it. I highly recommend. We're going to get started in a comfortable seat. Just taking a couple of mindful breaths to set the tone for this practice. Maybe even a sense of gratitude that you carved out this time for yourself. Slow down your inhales. And watch your exhales. Quieting the mind and relaxing the body. Releasing any stress and worries, anything that's holding you from staying present in this moment. You can take a cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're ready, you can blink the eyes open and make your way into a child's pose. This is going to be our first posture, and I'm going to use the blocks to support myself in this child's pose. So what I ended up doing is having a block along the sternum. You can use a couple of blocks if you'd like, or just support yourself over a bolster or a couple of pillows. And it just will help to alleviate some of the heaviness that goes into the hips in this pose. And you can find your book. Whenever you're ready, you can begin to read. Over the next 5 minutes, periodically check in to make sure that your body isn't tensing up and that your muscles are soft. Otherwise, the Yin Yoga posture, which is intended for the joints and the connective tissues, won't be able to actually reach the joints and connective tissues. And finishing up where you are. And set your book off to the side. Remove any props if you were using them. And very slowly start to lift yourself up, pausing wherever you need for the rebound of the pose. Maybe finding a comfortable seat with the eyes closed down. Just pay attention to all the sensations in your hips. Our next pose is going to be puppy pose with the arm woven underneath the chest. So the goal is to keep your hips above your knees and take your right arm underneath your chest, settle either onto the forearm or the shoulder. And then to incorporate your book, it will be possible to hold it in either of your hands, but just make sure that you're comfortable. You can use a block underneath your right shoulder if you need to lift yourself up a little bit, and then even tucking a block under your head. Do your best to find the alignment that works for your body so that you're not going to be warping your body into an uncomfortable pose, and that you will listen to what your body is saying. So if you need a break, then take a break. Finishing up where you are in your book. And pushing the left hand into the mat, very slowly lift off of your right arm. Bring your hips to your heels and sit upright. Relax the right shoulder. Breathe into it. Watch sensations passing. Feel free to take a little bit of a countering pose, opening your right arm out behind you. When you're ready, we can set up for the next side, bringing your book over towards the right edge of your mat. Maybe have a couple sips of your tea before settling in. You're going to aim for the hips over the knees, lowering your left shoulder or forearm to the mat, maybe onto a set of blocks. And then holding the book with your right hand or maybe your left. Before fully settling into the pose, make sure that you feel good where you are and that you're not forcing anything. Save your spot and slowly press yourself up. Find tabletop. And tucking your toes under, bring your hips to your heels for a toe squat. Now lean as much weight into your hands as you need to, but you can start walking your hands up your legs, making sure that the weight is still evenly distributed between all of your toes and that the sensation that you're feeling isn't pain. We won't be holding this pose for as long as we've been holding the other poses. Finishing up your sentence. And then to come out of this pose and into the rebound, bring your palms to the mat for tabletop. Slowly peel your toes off the mat and press the tops of your feet to the ground. Maybe you press your hips down to the heels. As more sensation passes, you can eventually get your shoulders over your hips. Our next pose will take a little bit of setting up. So to lay down on your back body, place one block at the top of your mat for your head at a higher height and another block at the lowest height, and that will go on the biggest part of your ribs. So not too far down to the low back. Carefully lower yourself onto your forearms and adjust the blocks into position. Now You have a couple of options for your legs, so choose whatever one will be the most comfortable for you. Maybe your feet to the mat, knees bent, or the soles of your feet to touch with your knees open, and this can be a reclined butterfly yin yoga pose as well. If you have any low back pain, then I will recommend having your feet flat down to the mat, knees bent, and maybe letting them fall in together. saving your spot and closing your book as this is our last pose. Feel free to remain, maybe reading for a bit longer or taking Shavasana. But if you're ready to close off your practice and roll over onto whatever side body feels most natural, use your arm as a pillow. Just take a couple of breaths. Press your hand into the mat and move as slowly as you need. Come up into a seat. Sitting up tall, relax your shoulders. Maybe take a couple shoulder rolls. Maybe a couple of seated cats and cows just to neutralize the spine. And before we go and end the practice, I'd love it if you let me know what you're reading and drinking in the comments below. And we're going to close off the practice with a final breath together, maybe closing the eyes. Inhale, your arms reach up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. The light in me sees, acknowledges, and honors the light in you and knows that they are the same. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next Saturday for another Yin Yoga class.